Hello everyone, today is Tuesday, September 22nd. It's about an hour after the regular session close, and I have another live trading video from my Leeloo funded account. Today I traded a total of 4 charts and kind of have a lot to discuss. I've been doing some research on line break trading, and I traded a new chart today, which is a 987 tick line break. It's a larger time frame than the 250 tick. And this is only 2 line breaks. So the idea here is, since the bigger time frame, I want to get my signal closer to the top of the swing, and I'm not getting as many long bars like on those really long bars like this on a 250 tick. So on a 250 tick line break, you can see we have longer bars because these are 5 line breaks. So it's a little bit different idea here for trading, and I backtested this. I ran it in Market Replay and it did pretty good, and then I watched it for a few days and I decided to trade it live. And so first day out of the gate live, it hit its goal of $600 with no slippage. And the money management here is set up. This was a single contract with 120 ticks as a target. So I think you can go a little larger in your target since a larger time frame. And I am trailing a stop at 101 ticks, 10%. So fortunately I didn't get stopped out and have to have another trade. It just barreled right down there. And I have a limit order of 12 ticks. Now I think you can go with a larger pullback. There's a bar type, which is line break bars with wicks. It's called Wicket Line Break for NinjaTrader 7, and it shows the wicks. It shows the pullback on these bars. So I want to bring that over. Okay, so if you notice my global cursor on the bottom, you can see on the bottom is the line break chart with wicks, and you can see the wicks on the bar. So this, where I entered, you can see that this bar here pulled back to a high of around 11,056.50, and there's no wick on these line break charts. You don't want to trade the bars with the wicks because I think you don't get better performance, because it would actually calculate the high of the bar here, where here it's calculated this way. I think it doesn't trade as well. So anyway, on this trade here where we entered, the pullback was just a little bit more than 12 ticks, maybe 13 or 14 ticks, but you can see on the next bar the pullback was quite a bit higher, and we still would have got filled as high as 1035. So pullback could have easily been, this was 8 points, it could have been 30 or 40 ticks on a pullback, and you still would have got filled here. Now this is also filtered by the moving average, but by seeing these wicks on the bars, as well as the other time frames in line break we trade, we can get an idea of what kind of pullback in limit order you can use. Out of the 4 charts I traded today, there were 2 winners and 2 losers. So it was bound to happen. There was a loser on the 10-minute chart, and I'm not sure, we didn't get filled on this bar here, which would have been a winner on the short side, because this is the 940 bar and we start trading at 10 o'clock on this. So I got filled here and stopped out, and then stopped out on the long trade here. So 2 stop outs, and my money management on this is trading a single contract with $600 and $700. And so again, it was bound to happen to get a loser on this chart, because it's just had so many winning days in a row. So that knocked me back. Then I also traded the 250 tick line break today, and that had quite a few trades, and also was stopped out for a loss of $5.95. Now looking at this, remember, there's something to be learned from every chart. On this chart I have precision trend exit set at 1. Now if this was set at 0, what would have happened is I would have traded through this pullback and probably hit my goal on the first trade. It would have traded through this and then I would have hit my goal. So if you look at the other trades, you can see I got stopped out here, and this also would have traded through this. This here went as high as, I'll bring over the wicked chart on the 250 line break. This actually turned out better because what happened is the moving average turned blue for a second and allowed this trade. That's what happened here. So I think I'm going to disable the precision trend exit on the line break chart, or use a, still working on the money management on this chart. I may abandon it altogether in favor of some other time frames on the line break chart, which I've been playing around with, such as the 100 tick. This I set up to trade with a 650 target, and I think it was hit, but I had some slippage here, and I have it set to 60 and 70 ticks as a target, and then a relatively tight stop, because on a 100 tick line break the swings typically aren't as big, so I'm trailing a very tight stop at 40 ticks by bars, and then 50 ticks. So this did in sim 525, and I've been also watching this, and I think it's a good candidate. Okay, before I had some losers, I tried to make up for it, and I did have a couple of Autotrader trades where I managed the trade with the trail stop buttons here. So all of these trades I used the Autotrader to enter, but I managed the trade. So there were 2 trades here, and so basically I had 4 winners in a row, and then this kind of nice winner here, and I gained back 430 of my loss. So the net loss today is only about $600. Actually, it's more like 400. I think yesterday this was 1785, so I brought it down to about 400 total. So not too bad. I'm going to continue my strategy of trading several charts a day, and then if I'm down, I've been on a pretty good streak timing trades on the Superenco 8 tick and catching some of these moves. Now, my methodology for doing this is I'm basically watching a 1 minute, a 2 minute, a 5 minute chart, and I'm looking at the Bollinger Bands on the 1 minute. So on this trade, you can see that on the 1 minute, I'm close to the low of the Bollinger Band in this kind of sideways action, and I took a couple of long trades. And then here, this was coming off the top of the Bollinger Band, and I took the second failure. It didn't go anywhere here, so I figured if it fails, it would be a lower high and a lower low, and that played out correctly, and that was the big winning trade right here that quickly sold off. And then I decided not to trade anymore after that. There was a really nice rally back to the long side after that. So this gives a little more perspective to the 1 minute chart. Those trades were taken between 1450. Here's that kind of low that I'm talking about. So just on this little tiny move was the first trade, and then the short was when price came to the high of the Bollinger Band here, and I caught this move to the other side. So it just goes to show, in a sideways action like this, you can trade at the extremes. On an 8 tick Superenco, the movement is much bigger. So all in all, a decent day, even though I was down. So here's another 250 line break chart, which after watching the line break charts with wicks, I decided to try this with a 30 tick pullback. That worked out pretty well. This is 2 contracts with a goal of 1,500 each, and only a stop loss of 60. That's a little bit tight, but since I'm pulling back 30 ticks, it's almost 100 ticks. So that was the idea there. This hit its goal in 950. It got stopped out by bars, but no, this is the precision trend exit. So had I not had the precision trend exit, I would have traded through this and hit my goal sooner than this. Interesting idea to go with a deeper pullback on the line break. Okay, that's all for my video. I think Trader Jim is going to send me a video as well.